Last 12 months, we've helped 20 coaches break $100,000 per month consistently. And today I'm going to reveal why 99.9% of coaches cannot do that and what you should be looking for in terms of mistakes you could potentially be making right now that are stopping you getting the growth you potentially want. Now, when we actually pull back the curtain and I look at the difference between the coaches who are successful and the coaches who are not successful, there is one thing I think about an awful lot. And one is their actual ability to tolerate risk and their ability to actually handle fear themselves. And there's a saying I really like that I heard a couple of days ago, and it's scared money doesn't make money. Now, if you are scared and you are afraid, you will fail. Like you have some fear in life because otherwise you'll do stupid shit and be super reckless, but you have to have the ability to not be afraid of trying and it not working, because the reality is that the more swings you take, the more likely you are to then get a home run. And in business, you can hit one home run that's equivalent of 1,000 home runs. So in essence, what you want to be doing is removing that fear and be okay with actually taking risk and trying things and expecting it to not to work the first time. Because 99.9% of things won't work the first time. And also, if you think about this from an inverted thinking standpoint, if it worked the first time, it was really easy to do, guess what? Every other Tom, Dick, and Harry could do it, which means they could come straight after you in your business, which means if something is difficult, you essentially have a moat around you because you know there's a skill set and there's something that needs to be done to actually be able to achieve that. So the coaches who are the best, firstly, have a good relationship with risk, and they understand that they would rather risk 10K than 10 years of their life. Now, the reality is most people are the other way around. They would rather risk time than money. But one they print, one you never get back. So you always should be using and investing time to either buy back your time or build your skills to then build your business. And transparently, that's what I've done over the last 7 years and probably done $500,000 in personal development to this point, because I quickly realized that the shortcut in life is just learning from the person who's done the thing you want to do. And the reality is the gap from where you are now, maybe if a coaching business makes 5K a month, 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, to 100, 200K, is knowledge and implementation. And when you close that gap down, it gets much easier for you. Quick introduction into the podcast. Most people watch these, don't subscribe. I have one huge ask. My passion and project with this podcast is to give you as much value as possible to help you have the same success I've had. So I have one small ask. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please subscribe now, leave us a 5-star review, and now back to the episode. Now, once you kind of have that framework in your head, this can also cause another problem, which I have personally been through and I see people do. And I spend a lot of time with the coaches I work with personally, stopping them do this. And is because you have done one new thing and it worked and got you results, you want to constantly do new things. So you hop from idea from idea from idea. And this is why you see people also hop from business coach to business coach to business coach. A lot of them, transparently, maybe aren't that great, but the reality is you have to actually see something through and be consistent with it for a period of time. And I understand this 100% because in a business standpoint, I'm a builder, I'm not a runner. I like building stuff, I don't like operating it. So like coming up with the ideas, I like putting the strategy together, I like implementing it, I like getting it to work. Proof of concept is huge. And then I kind of want to bounce and be like, find someone else to run this thing for me. But that's me with maybe more of a visionary mindset. And a lot of people watching this and listening to this, you need to learn how to control that. Because if you're bouncing from idea, you're actually only taking, like opening the first chapter of each book of all the opportunities rather than finishing the book. And finishing the book is essentially where you make the money that you actually want and you get the success you want. And one of the things I think about a lot is where I'm focusing, and this is what the best coaches do, where I'm focusing my time, my effort, my financial resources, my team, are these things that if they worked, like this is ultimately super scalable and it's home run of home run of home run. If it's a yes, then that's what you want to do, which is why we're into long form content, why we're into paid ads. We do a lot of other things, like we post on TikTok and stuff like that, but I wouldn't spend 4 hours making a reel because it's not necessarily the greatest use of my time, where I could spend 4 hours making ads that I can spend tens of thousands on every single month that will have a much higher ROI. And if you think about your job as becoming a CEO and not the chief everything officer, is allocation of resources in your business, of your time, of your energy, of your money. And ultimately, those decisions and those frameworks are what's going to stop you from either growing or going to keep you stuck from where you are right now. And I think a lot of people within their business, the reason they say stuck at say 10 to 20K a month is they also need to have an identity shift and killing the old version of them, because they put so many limiting beliefs on themselves. And one of the easiest ways I think about that is like outwork anxiety. If you have anxiety that you cannot do something, it's like, if I have anxiety about my business, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna market harder. I'll sell more, like just go in more. And if you have a business and you're sub 6 figures a month at the moment, the biggest issue you have is you're not marketing and selling enough. Because realistically to 100K a month, like it's just marketing and sales. Beyond that, it becomes a much more difficult game, and it's more like chess, not checkers. You can't use brute force as much, which is why a lot of people struggle when they get to 100K and they get stuck, because maybe they aren't as great as they think they are as a CEO. They're great in terms of like an implementer, but they can't get the team to play together. They can play as an individual very well themselves. And that's where you, as you grow at different stages in your business, will have to reframe the way you look at certain situations and how you manage them and the choices you make and what you should be doing, what someone else should be doing, and also most importantly, what should not be done at all. Because I see a lot of time people doing things and I'm like, dude, like what problem does this solve? Like, cool. And reality is people like to fix the problems of things they know they like to do. But if your organic content is good and you get loads of lead flow from it, you obsessing and making it 1% better is not going to make any difference. If you're terrible at sales or you haven't got a DM setting team, that's the high arbitrage thing you need to fix. And a great example, we've had a client, Bernard, come to us. He's from the Netherlands. He lives in Dubai. He started with us at the beginning of August. His business was around $40,000 a month. In 3 weeks, we've taken him from $40,000 a month to over $100,000 a month. And there's still 4 days left of the month. And what did we do? I looked at his business. I was like, that's the problem. If you fix that, your business will grow. What happened? 3 weeks later, he's made an extra $60,000. It's like $20,000 a week extra. And that's going to continue month after month after month and year after year. And this is where you are paying a phenomenal ignorance tax that you don't know what you don't know. And this is where someone can say one thing to you that can completely reframe and change your entire business. And I've been very fortunate to have that happen multiple times for me. And that's only come about because I put myself in the right position, put myself in the right room, or paid for the right program to get access to the right person to give me that advice. And ultimately, if you're banging your head against the ceiling right now, you're frustrated, you're not seeing the growth you want, it's because there's something you cannot see. And if you want to be able to see what that problem is, if you hit the link below this video or drop me a message on Instagram, I will personally have a conversation with you and I can have a look at what you're doing, what's wrong, how you fix it, and how you can rapidly scale your business, just like Bernard has. If you get value from the podcast, make sure you leave us a 5-star review and check out the next episode coming up now.